Good morning, welcome back. Today we are in another Icon Thriftmaster. These are so much fun. I always say it, but I'm going to say it again because I already said I always say it. They are sports cars masquerading as vintage farm trucks. They are so much fun to drive, especially when they have the four-wheel independent suspension option like this truck does. They handle so nice, they just sop up the road. I'm on a really bumpy, screwy road right now, and still, it's just nice and tight. So this one's a 54, which we've never done before. It's also a 3-window, which is kind of cool. The 3 windows, the cabs look really cool, but the visibility is quite limited. When you go this way or to that lane, you got this big old blind spot, but they look so neat. And the 54s are kind of neat. You don't see them that often. And they're basically like an oddball transition model. And I've actually never gotten the story, but I'm quite curious because they only did it for 54 and half year 55. And then they came out with the second generation, which is a super cool truck I want to build as well. But it seems like a lot of expense to go through all that tooling for just a year and a half of manufacture. I don't know. But anyway, let's get into this one a little bit. Color, super neat. Client actually had us match some house paint. So it's, I don't know, call it what you will, sort of periwinkle blue, but it just plays with the light really nice. And I think it photographed today really beautifully with a cloud cover and just kind of pops nice and clean. We did the smoothie old school style wheels on this one, not the artillery wheels. We did chrome trim instead of the usual Icon satin nickel, which just seemed to work better with this color. I don't know, the satin nickel with the blue, it's like classic and modern and it just didn't quite pan out. So I think the chrome and stainless is a better way to go. You'll notice there's more bright work than normal also, like the door surrounds on the interior are chrome, the windshield frame. The windshield on the 54s are unique. One piece, curved, subtle, but again has this impact on the way they look. Front grille is the most obvious unique element to this year. Let's see, what else can I tell you? On the outside, we're running the usual Icon front badge with the high detail CNC'd lizard. This time again, he is chromed. For the inset behind the lizard on this one, I did kind of a dove gray and the same sort of color group palette range as the body color. But it was really weird when we first did it in the body color. It looked like we failed at matching the color, but it was the exact color. But something about the angle or the plane of it, I don't know, didn't look right. So we just did that subtle change, but I think it helped. It nice and clean pop. Rear bumper on the 54 has a little bit more sculptural detail to it than the 47 to 53s. Another nice element, the bed on 54s are unique. You'll notice that the upper bed rail is a 90 form, and there's just a bit more structure and thought in the stamping. It's just a bit more evolved, nice and clean. Bed wood on this one, we did maple, and that's finished in a satin marine grade finish, all stainless runners. You'll notice the fuel tank, again, stainless steel. I believe it's 22 gallons, if I recall correctly. All TIG welded, in-tank pump and sump. And we fitted in the rear under the bed, which helps with the weight distribution on these trucks, because with this much power, they're a wee bit light in the trunk. So power-wise, this one is running the General Motors E-Rod emissions certified LS3. So we're about 420 horse and about 450 torque. Lovely power band, feels really yummy. We're running the General Motors 3/4 ton 4L85E automatic transmission. We're running the Art Morrison Master Deluxe Fancy Pants 4-wheel independent suspension chassis. For power steering on this one, we're running rack and pinion, and we're running a 20-to-1 ratio on that rack. We're doing the hydro assisted Brembo brakes. So you've got 6-piston front calipers, 4-piston rear, 2-piece hats, slotted and vented rotors. You just can never have enough brakes, man. I love these Brembo Icon Sport brakes. Can't see them with the smooth wheels, but it's kind of nice, sort of hidden, a little trick up its sleeve. The exhaust system on the truck is a balanced dual exhaust stainless steel system. All turbo plumbing V-groove CNC clamps, no gaskets or junctions. Stainless steel headers as well. And then MagnaFlow for the mufflers. So it's nice and throaty, but it doesn't drone. It's nice and clean unless you stomp it. And then when you put your foot into it, it really wakes up. I'll show you. Okay. On the interior, this truck is running Relicate black leather. We did the new school traditional seat pattern on the upholstery. You'll notice that has changed over the years because the design of the seat foam as it comes from the supplier, I feel that like the upper bolster kind of caves you in and kicks you forward, and found that to be somewhat annoying. So we resculpted and reshaped the foam. So now we're running these ribs, 3 panels up and 3 panels on the bottom. That's picked up by the 3 panels on the door panels. And it just looks nice and clean, but the ergonomics seem to work a lot better. You've got the fold down center console armrest. You've got the little pocket in the front of the seat for your phone or your wallet or whatever the heck you want to put in there. For drink holders, we're running the Mercedes G-Wagon cup holders down on the kick panels, and you can kick fold those up and down. They work really well, really nice and simple design, really well crafted and executed. We've got a new knob design that we've been playing with. Originally did these knobs for the GMC Derelict Icon pickup truck because I wanted something that appeared more stock versus the new school Icon Thriftmaster knobs they're cool. They've got this neat honeycomb shape, which I actually kept on the steering column hardware dress-up stuff for the shifter, for the hazard switch, for tilt and turn signal. But on the dash, I felt these were just a little bit more subtle. So they have a black enamel infill, but the design is following the original design of what originally was a plastic knob with a little steel stamped thingamajigger on top. You've got lights and wipers to the left of the gauges. To the right of the gauges down low, this client had us keep the original retro push start button. And then you've got audio, bass, fan, vent, and temp. All the way to the right is for the electric e-stop parking brake that has an audible warning as well, so you can't be an idiot, hop in the truck and drive away with the parking brake on, because that just sucks, especially with this parking brake, because it works really well. It tugs it super tight. For audio, as mentioned by the A and B knobs on the dash, we did a Bluetooth dependent system in this one, so we're running the focal speakers. We got the bass hiding behind the front seat. Otherwise, just 2 primary speakers up in front. So only 3 speakers, but it super fills up the cab with sound. Works out really nice. We're running the German wool Hargarten square weave that is rubber backed, that is lined with Dynamat, and that is hemmed in the same leather used on the seats. Stitching on this seat is a double French stitch, which I'm really fond of. Pretty much stopped using piping transitions and gone to the double French. I think it looks cleaner and it certainly is more durable. You see cars that are 60, 70 years old with that stitch design, and they're holding up perfect. You see vehicles that are 10 years old that have piped seams, and the polymer, the nylon in the piping doesn't seem to like the temperature variances. So as it starts to shrink, it makes the piping line irregular, and it just irks me. I started to notice that on some of my earlier builds, and that forced the change. We're running the Alcantara headliner. The floor mats are done in the same carpet, and they're just a bonus layer on top of primary carpet, but all the carpet is removable, not just the mats. There's Dynamat quilting intelligently applied on the back of the cab, on the firewall, in the doors, and on the roof. And then the polyurea coating was applied to the entire body, underside and inside cabin prior to reassembly. And the bed, you'll notice to fit the big meat, we did a mini tub, and we're doing that on all of them. You also might notice that the height of the bed wood is taller than normal, and that is done to make room for the four-wheel independent suspension. Steering columns, the Icon by I Did It. So that's tilt column, breakaway, gives you nice ergonomic control. Steering wheel is a Tri-5 Chevy Bel Air wheel, reduced diameter, and that's wrapped in the same leather that you see everywhere else. Visors, those are the Icon visors by Rosen. They work really nice and they stay out of your way. And with some of these earlier vehicles, when you've got the low windshield line, traditional visors turn into blinders. So what's nice about these, since they're translucent, you still get the shade, but you don't reduce your visibility. What else? We got power door locks. We've got power windows. This truck's outfit with my nifty power window gizmo. So the power windows look analog. You simply tap to go down, tap to go up, or you can double tap to go all down or double tap to go all up. Just a nice little detail. So another unique element to the 54 is the dash design. So while we were able to fit the usual Icon decoded digital manufactured gauges, and those are great because they give you all the traditional full readout that you need, but you've got 0 to 60, quarter mile, odometer, trip meter, exact readouts for coolant, oil pressure, voltage, all that good stuff. But we did not do our articulating center dash panel. The lines of this dash are super cool, and from the factory, it had these slots in the middle of the dash, which would have been for the factory optional AM radio. So what we did is we put a very small stainless mesh screen behind it, and then we repurposed that to function now as the center AC vents. The outer AC vents are subtly under dash, and they just bleed the air out under the lines of the dash, and it's just nice and clean. So I think that's enough. I appreciate your guys' attention, guys and gals, I believe. Are there any ladies watching? I don't know. It does seem we've got more and more female clients, which is super cool. So thanks again. Appreciate the interest, the support that the community provides. Icon4x4.com, old school telephone 818-280-3333. Instagram is Icon4x4, so is Facebook, or you can follow me, Jonathan Ward, on Facebook. I'll see you guys on the next one, but not before I give you just one totally unnecessary and copious burnout.